Hello, Milky friends. Milkstew here with you for another Idol Heroes. Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. Today we are going to do a Reddit post chat. Another one of our usual, I'm not going to say it's frequent series, but we do it from time to time. Just a quick update before we do. So I have finished all of Sealand. I'm just updating my account now. The last thing I finished was Sealand Shadow, and I didn't do a video because I just didn't feel like it. And to be honest, most of you won't have what I have. I mean, the formula is well known to finish Sealand 20. You need 1 E5 horrors and about 5 baby Tixes, based on the posts I've seen on Reddit. I mean, I did it with 4 baby Tixes. They all had energy artifacts. My horse had a Splendid Crown, which I know none of you have. So then you're like, well, Milk, so that's not really fair. But that's what I had, guys. And I had a block attack stone on him. I think block is critical for Horus, so block anything is good for Horus. So that's what I did with. I also did it with E2, E3 Thaqua, and she just had a glittery Atlas Cane. I mean, she helped out, but really it was the baby Tixes as well as the Horus that I think really got us over the line more than anything. So that's done. The last thing I have in the old world, I'm going to call it old world PvE is basically Aspen Dungeon. I think once the next PO event comes out, where you can get the 4 baby Tixes from doing 4 loops. On top of the thingy-mabob next week, the altar, where we can get another Tix copy. That should be enough for my 9 copies, and then theoretically all I need is a Splendid Dildo to finish Aspen Dungeon 20, and hopefully those dildos are easy to get, or I can get by with just a glittery one. We shall see, because right now I'm just struggling with Aspen. Like, you need a darn lot of luck to get 100, and I just don't think I have it. The way to finish Aspen Dungeon, it's known. Everyone's done it. It's just 1 Sherlock with a Splendid Rui and 1 Tix with basically a Splendid Punisher Staff of the Immortal. My monthly is also just reset, so I'm flush with 500 million gold. I also have a lot of spirit, and while people might be tempted, while you might be tempted, I'm not going to say everyone, to upgrade all these heroes to 3, 4, 5, the reality is I'm not going to use a lot of these heroes. So I'm holding myself back from going to 3, 4, 5, because I know once I get to finish Aspen Dungeon 100, some of these are going to have to go to 350, and it's going to cost a fuck ton of spirit and gold to get there. So I'm just going to hold it back, because I know it's going to get chewed away like just super quick, because there are so many things I can use gold on right now, like buy more spirit, upgrade my 5th monster. So I'm going to obviously getting a lot of monster parts, but just practicing good, what I call restraint. So then when I get 350, which I'm expecting in the next month or 2, I'll have everything I need to upgrade. And because this is pretty much it. I don't need any more heroes. Every hero in this lineup can be replaced and will be replaced. So when the new Dark Hero comes out, I'm going to replace it with Aspen. If this Samurai is any good, Inoshuk, whatever the name is, next week, I've got my Flora copies ready to go to replace for him. I also have an Ignis in the bag, which I can replace for as well. And on top of that, what was I going to say? On top of that, I have a Sherlock 330. I don't think you need 2 Sherlocks, honestly, even for PvP. I don't see many people run in the top tier run 2 Sherlocks. It's still like 5 carries or however many it is. So that second Sherlock, it's really not needed for PvP. So I might replace him with the Samurai, just depending on how powerful he is. But we shall see. Anyway, that's a quick update on my account. Today we're going to go through some Idol Heroes posts, just chat about it, as we usually do in this kind of session. So the first post, yeah. I mean, with the old accounts, you're always going to get something you don't get on your primary account, which you want. But the reality is you probably have just as much luck as you do on your primary account. But with your primary account, obviously you played it a lot longer. Now, you're not going to get super lucky draws all the time, but you have gotten super lucky draws before. You're just getting the unlucky draws as well, so then it balances out, right? October codes, obviously, they gave us 2 new codes post the live stream, and for those of you who watch, I apologize for the fact that it was a bit of a waste of time. But yeah, the two codes are great. One gives us 18 feathers, and the other one gives us a bunch of like shards, diamonds, and profit orbs, which is super nice. That's an ad we don't need to talk about. So I've seen this post before about people trying to convince them to change from heroic scrolls for Black Friday, which is now confirmed, to profit orbs. I mean, I'm neither here or there about it, as long as everyone's in the same boat. What I absolutely do not want them to do is for profit orbs with ticks to happen. Everyone spends their profit orbs, and then they say, okay, we listen to you, we're going to change their profit orbs. Right? That's just not on. So we want as much, I guess, forward warning as we can get. If it's heroic scrolls, I'm perfectly fine with that because everyone's in the same boat, right? We're all equally as fucked. So for me, as long as one person then have an advantage over another, that's undue. Again, the whole discussion about asymmetric advantage I keep harping on about, I'm perfectly fine with that. Why DH games do I have to pay $15 extra when I'm purchasing in euros? There's a whole host of reasons, guys. Even in the US, you don't pay the same price, right? There are like taxes here and there, which they tack on, digital taxes, which they tack on. And I absolutely have no idea how that works. If this really bugs you, man, if this really bugs you and you're watching my video, do what I do, right? I've got 3 Gmail accounts, or not Gmail, 3 Google accounts. One in the Philippines, one in Australia because I'm based in Australia, and so that's my primary account. And I've got one in the US because I thought the best way to go was, in terms of like getting value for money, was to buy like discounted gift cards and get the Google reward points and just spend in the US. But what I've realized is in my US account, which this account is now, like when I talk about this stuff, all my stuff is based on US dollars, right? And so I can buy, this is my USD account, and I've got Google Play cards loaded up. The problem is every time I use the Google Play cards, they load 8% like digital tax onto it, which is kind of shitty, and I don't like that. So look, my friend, if you don't want to spend euros, right, create a new Google account that's based in the Philippines. You just use VPN in, link any credit card to it. It's not like Apple where they region check your credit card, and then you just purchase in Philippine pesos. And the Philippine pesos, the packs, they're pretty much the USD price, except you don't have to pay tax on top of it, and you don't have to pay this weird Euro, Korean one, higher markup compared to the USD when you do exchange rate. Exchange rates fluctuate all the time, and these guys aren't going to update the pricing all the time. Certainly, they'll update the price up if they think they're getting ripped off, but DH games are a business. They will never lower prices. So, look, I've just told you the workaround. If you really don't want to pay the difference, and you just want to pay the USD price, or if you're in the US and you don't want to pay the sales tax, set up a Google account that's based in the Philippines, pay in pesos, you're fine. So that's it's no secret. I've talked about this in the video in the past. I used to use an account based in Turkey when there was like a 50% discount to the USD price, and up until recently when they closed the loop, Brazil used to be the next cheapest country where they base. Brazil's a bit harder to set up. I had to basically go online and try and find someone's personal tax number because they link your Google account to your tax number. But now they've closed off the pricing arbitrage. Like literally everywhere in the world, the price is pretty much pegged to the USD now, except for these other countries like the European countries, or I think the Korea as well, South Korea, where they pay above USD rates. I don't know why. I think at one point in time they were lower than USD, but now obviously that's not the case. They've appreciated because they haven't appreciated, but the USD has depreciated, and you're in this weird situation where you just pay a lot more. We've already talked about new CD key. We don't need to talk about that. For a CLN21 Garuda, he probably has, what does he have? Rogan. Yeah, that's pretty mandatory. Rogan, Heartwatcher, Elvia. So I think the reality is there's a couple of things you need. It's not as simple as one E5 Garuda. There's also a supporting cast of like 8, 9, and 10 star heroes like Rosa, Heartwatcher, and Elvia that you actually need. It's not just one hero. If I had to say easiest to hardest to complete in terms of Zealand, it's probably Dark, easiest, maybe Shadow, I want to say now. Because you only need 5 baby Tixers and 1 Horus. Then perhaps Light. And then all the other ones in between. I would say the hardest one to complete because of the variety of heroes that you need. It's probably either Forest or Abyss, and Fortress is somewhere in the middle. So it's my honest opinion. Heroes, yeah, they look cool enough. I really don't want them spending more on graphics. Just I would rather them spend more on programmers to get more game modes, make things easier. Finish broken spaces. So I did Oilers finish a broken space with tickets. Congratulations. I mean, I don't know who is still doing this. Like people, GDP and other people have gotten down to 7 tickets. So it's kind of like, where do you go after that, right? Whether it's 7, whether it's 11, whether it's 56, where it's 39. I mean, it's just a number at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you just want to clear Sealand to get all the rewards without buying extra tickets with gems. So it's, for me, it's almost like, I don't really care if you spend, it's like the Sealand thing, right? I don't really care how many tickets you spend. The things that will help newer players is what's the weakest lineup that you need or that you can get to clear Sealand with 100 tickets. I think that's the next challenge, the better challenge, rather than, 7 tickets, 11 tickets, because that's just kind of BS and disingenuous, because that's like, well, okay, so then you just need a bunch of splendid artifacts, level 350 heroes, perfect stone, and you can get it down to 7 tickets like GDP has, which is fantastic, and it's good viewing. But really, the stuff that's useful for the majority of you out there is like Sealand. It's what is going to clear Sealand for you broken spaces for you every single month, with the minimum team. So like maybe just one Garuda that's E5 and everyone else is a 9 or 10 star. If there's a content creator that come up with that, that would be far more useful than the lowest ticket stuff. Coronavirus is one. That's good news. So the good news here in Melbourne, Australia, is the fact that, which is where I live, is that we're finally coming out of lockdown for the second time after 15 weeks of actual serious lockdown. So we've had 2 lockdowns now. Basically, I would say 6, 7, 8 months of this year has been locked down. Like people just haven't been able to do anything. So for those of you in the US or Europe where you haven't had really lockdown, that's what you're installed for. If you want to get on top of this virus, there's just simply no other way, right? And we are a highly dispersed we have a highly dispersed city. It's not like Europe where everything's cramped in, or like New York where everything's like really close together. Everything's widely dispersed. So like it's not like people congregate, and we had to lock down for 9 months. So if you live in a similar area, or you live in a highly concentrated area, like high population density, it's going to take a lot more effort. And I'm surprised like the Europeans haven't come to see that. You guys are pretty on top of things compared to the US, but you might not be, right? I get the economic argument. I mean, in Australia, we all took a hit as well, but the reality is without a vaccine, that's the only way to win. Certainly, that's how we've conquered it in Australia, Melbourne, Australia specifically. We've had to go through the pain of 9 months worth of basically hard lockdown. So hopefully you guys are safe wherever you are, but I'm just sharing with you the reality that we faced here, and you're probably going to have to face that coming into winter in Europe especially, as well as the US. So like snuggle up, enjoy your freedom while it lasts, and just get used to being inside for like just a really, really long time until they find the vaccine. So then, first E1 ever, congratulations. Hey guys, I got 2 copies of Pennies already. Have her considering I should buy more copies of Relic. No, don't do it. I don't know why you would rush Penny. It's this guy, someone needs to tell this guy, you should save the relics for artifacts, especially if you're going to play this game in the long term. If you're just going to play this for the next year, you're not going to really spend on it, probably, you can do whatever you want, right? It actually doesn't matter. If you're just going to spend free to play, and you're not really going to take this game seriously for like a serious period of time, do whatever you want. But if you're going to play this game for like the long term, then that's probably not a long term move. Yeah, this is disingenuous. Anyways, let's just look at one more. I mean, Flora, geez, what a disappointment. But look, they can't introduce like just really good must-have heroes all the time. Otherwise, it'd be really hard to build a decent lineup. And it was just unfortunate that in the 1 week I chose to use my scrolls, that it was like probably one of the worst heroes for this year to be introduced, because they haven't buffed her and she's completely useless. She will get replaced. It's just a question of, do I replace it with a Samurai or a Light and Dark coming up? Anyway, guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm conscious of not wanting to go way too long for these kind of videos. I will see you this Friday for the release of the Samurai in Noku. I just forget. I don't know. It'll also be Halloween, so hopefully we get some goodies and more thing to analyze. Hope you have a great week ahead and stay safe. Thanks, guys.